Hello. So I think I'm actually live. I decided to do an impromptu jump on. I don't know if anybody is around on this lovely, what are we, Monday evening. But I wanted to pop on and answer any questions that anybody has. I know that there's quite a few people from the platform, the Wevolve tribe, that had some live questions. So if you guys want to join, you totally can. Also, I wanted to share with you guys something really, really exciting, which is basically that I finally finished the detox course. So you guys know when I did a live last time, I was essentially in the process of testing out a full body healing and regeneration, like detoxification. I was doing all of it on myself to see what works, using all the information I've acquired over a decade, plus my life experience working with people, and just basically trying to remove all synthetics out of the body, completely healing and regenerating the gut next level, anti-aging, skin regeneration, liver, kidney healing, like really full body detox. So this is going to be amazing for people who are dealing with like long CVD, people that are dealing with like, EMF sensitivity, people that are dealing with heavy metal toxicities, people that are dealing with toxicity or poisoning from anything that's happened in the world over the last few years. So basically it's just a full body detox, and it's going to address everything from like candida and parasites and all of that. I have made this course 100% free. So I didn't do this because I'm trying to sell you guys some big fancy product. I did this for the love of humanity, because I know that so many people, especially here on YouTube, they maybe don't want to join the Wevolve tribe, can't afford to join the Wevolve tribe, or just want to know how to detox, but need like a detailed step-by-step guide. I wanted this to be basically an act of love. So I've created this course for you guys for completely free. So there is no hesitation for becoming the healthiest person that's ever lived on earth. This is the kind of course where it doesn't matter how many times you fall off the bandwagon. It doesn't matter what health protocol you're on. These are the fundamental and foundational steps to basically healing your entire body from literally anything you could ever have. So I'm really, really excited to share it. It's completely free. I'm going to put the link, hold on, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to put the link here in the chat, but basically I also have it in the description below this video. So if you're joining, oh, some people are joining. Hello. Okay, fun. I know that it's better to schedule a live when you tell people in advance rather than just showing up. But I'm kind of spontaneous like that. So what do you want? Hello. So yeah, basically, if you guys are just joining now, I was just sharing about my new 100% free detox course about how to detox pretty much everything chemical in the world, every disease that there is, every parasite, every gut infection, how to completely clean and strip your gut of mucoid plaque, how to regenerate all of your DNA. It's super simple, really easy, 4 steps. It's totally free. There's 0 catch. So check it out. I put the link here. I'm so excited. I literally feel like this course is going to mean that almost like health practitioners become obsolete. And I know that sounds like ballsy to say or whatever, but I really believe that if people follow these 4 steps, they will be able to heal from anything. And so, yeah, I'm really just excited. I feel like it's like freedom and health for all of humanity for the rest of time. That's how I kind of feel about the course. But anyways, so let me know. Oh, I haven't heard from you so long, and suddenly I see this live. Oh, fun. Yes, thank you so much for joining. I decided to do it pretty last minute. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. I'm here to, looks like you have 2 free courses. Yes, so I have the free course that I just did. It's the only free course that I have if you're not a Wevolve tribe member. So the course I just did, which is the full body detox regeneration course, it's basically 4 steps to literally heal from anything. And that course I did for free. I just developed it over the last few months. I first tested all of it on myself. It's basically 10 years worth of research, but I wanted to go through the process myself so I would know exactly like how much to suggest for people and what was the fastest way to get there. So I've been playing around with that for the last, like, I don't know, year or something like that, but I did the actual detox itself. You guys know I was talking about it when I did my last, I was like in the process of it when I did my last live. But yeah, so the first thing that's in the description is the physical human detox course. So anything that's going on in your body, it's a free video series. Check it out. Send it to every single person that you know. there's no catch really, but every person that has a health issue, or anybody who wants to lose weight, or anybody who, took anything in the last few years that's been causing problems for them, this is going to be the course that's going to help to reverse all that stuff. At least I feel really, really confident. So I want to share it as much as possible with people. The other course that I have, or the other links down below, I've created a lot of like freebie documents and health documents for people. So I have the chemtrail detoxification course, or like document, and a few other documents that you guys can see there. So check that out if you're interested. Those are just like free gifts that I've given as well, but they're not really courses. And then I have my 30 Days to Conquer Your Health course, but that is in the Wevolve tribe for members. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys can always join the membership as well. But pretty much the main course that I think everybody should check out is the one that I just did. It is the most up-to-date modern course that I've ever done. It has everything you need to know about health in there. So yeah, I'm excited. I've had so many people over the last few years tell me like, oh, you don't do enough videos for free and we don't want to pay for a membership. Well, this is my gift back for everybody, for all of the support. And yeah, I just pretty much want everybody, whether they're paying or not, to be healthy. So check it out, please. A lot of work went into it. Also, I want to hear your success stories. I want to know that basically the global agenda is being eliminated through human empowerment and our ability to make ourselves healthy anytime from anything for virtually inexpensive. So yeah. Anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to sit back and see. I don't want to just chitty chat. Any advice for women who had a womb removal surgery? Yeah. So, well, the first thing I want to say about hysterectomy is, I don't know if you had a total hysterectomy or just uterus. I don't know exactly what your situation is, but my grandmother, who lived until she was almost 100 years old, perfectly healthy. She had a total hysterectomy when she was 33, and she was on synthetic hormone meds pretty much her entire life. And she lived a very long time and was healthy even with that. So the first thing I want to say is, don't worry about it. Don't freak out about it. I have some missing organs too. Shit happens. And yeah, just do the best you can with it. I know depending on what type of surgery and how complete it was, you may need hormone replacement therapy. You also might not. If they leave the ovaries and stuff, like, you produce still hormones. So if you can avoid taking hormones because you still have enough going on there, then I would suggest that. But if you need to take the hormones, then do that. But yeah, basically just general hormonal health is going to be good for everybody with a womb or without. So things like grounding and sunshine and sleeping enough, and just making sure you keep your stress low, being happy, doing things that you love, eating healthy, nutritious, natural foods, staying away from chemicals and artificial things, just the same regular stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to say I wouldn't worry too much about it. I know a lot of people who've lived a very long time. And yeah, I actually just had my cat sterilized, so she's in the same situation. She's going to live a long, fruitful life. All right, let's see. Does the course tell which organ to do first and also help with gut issues and bloating? Yes. So I have a lot of videos, like an insane amount of videos about all the little organs and different things and which steps to detox. And the reason I put together this course is to make it like bobo basic for people to have their entire body heal and let your body handle a lot of it. So the first part of it is DNA regeneration, which is actually the very first part of the course is essentially how to master your mind, because that's number one. If you don't master your mind, everything else you're going to do for your health is pretty much obsolete. You don't have to be a superhero with your mindset, but getting your mindset in order. And I share exactly what that means. It's not just like walking around being happy all day. There's a few really simple things that make all the difference. Then I talk about like the first step of the detox, which is basically healing your DNA, getting out synthetics from your body. So that's part one. Part two is getting rid of parasites, fungus, mucoid plaque, fully detoxifying the gut. And in that process, the supplements that I recommend, they're like really cheap anyways, and I'm not selling them, but they're just like the ones that I've included as the best suggestions to get step two done, is already going to get your liver and your kidneys clean, because they're blood purification, liver purifying. They're basically bitters. So they're also amazing for digestion, breaking up plaque in the gut. Then you have the actual mucoid plaque detoxification, which is completely and totally releasing all of the impacted garbage from your gut, which is already going to regenerate your entire body. Then you have step 3, which is reculturing on virgin, clean, detoxed, DNA regenerated terrain. And then step 4 is basically biohacking. That's where I share the best things to eat, the best things to do in terms of your lifestyle, your circadian rhythm, how to anti-age, all that stuff. So it's basically a 4-part, but it encompasses and includes the detox to every organ. So it's not laid out in the way of like, first you're going to do a colon cleanse, and then you're going to do a kidney cleanse, and then you're going to do a liver cleanse. Actually, technically it's liver first, liver, then kidney, then blah, 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 blah. Hormonal cleanse, gland cleanse. It doesn't work like that. I fast tracked all that stuff. All of it is going to happen for you, but way easier than having to do like a million liver flushes and all that stuff. This is like the fast track to health, but that really, really works. So I'm super excited. I wanted to keep it basic, easy, like really cheap for people. Like basically 50% of the stuff is free on there. I mean, there are a few supplements you'll probably have to get if you decide to do that, like psyllium husk and whatever else for the mucoid plaque, but you can get whichever one you want. So yeah. Where am I? What do you think of AHCC supplement, 60% for HPV? So I have a lot of videos where I actually talk about viruses and what's happening in the body. And yes, you can totally take antiviral supplements or viral suppressing supplements, or things like lysine also are good and all of that. And I do share videos about that. But in my personal opinion, anytime you have any kind of infection or growth of any kind, I already talk about my thought on viruses. That's a whole separate thing, and how they're really mycoplasma and different things like toxins in the body and stuff. So anyway, I have videos in the Wevolve tribe about that. I won't go too much into detail here because already that word like is going to get flagged here probably. But when we have, let's say we want to call a virus an infection. When we have an infection, what we actually have is a deficiency in a healthy microbiome. No one thing can overgrow or cause a problem if you have synergy and balance. It's impossible. If I were to take the land somewhere, healthy soil, and I were to put a biocide on it, which would basically decimate the microbiome of that earth, nothing would grow. And whatever survives there would become pathogenic because it had to survive a toxic environment. So that's kind of what happens when we have infections of any kind, like these or bacteria or funguses or whatever else. So I'm of a different school of thought, and instead of taking supplements that sort of suppress or boost like the body specifically against a specific infection, I'm a much bigger fan of correcting the entire terrain. So that's where this course, stage 3, like part 3, even if you just only do that part, which is the reculture phase, that is going to basically outculture any HPV or anything else that you have going on. That's really ultimately what I think the solution is. So I'm not a fan of taking as many supplements as possible, because there's a million supplements that we could take for every condition. It can be like literally a brain F, it's hard to, we get overwhelmed with that stuff. But if you feel called to taking it, then definitely take it. It's not bad. There's a lot of supplements that can be really helpful. And if we have an intuition for something, or we feel pulled to something, like magnetized to something or interested, maybe it would really benefit us. We all have different unique biologies. But either way, even if you take antiviral supplements or viral support supplements or immune boosting against virus supplements, you're still going to want to fix the microbiome. Let's see. Deep question, but do you think the world is doomed, or do you think that everybody will wake up and massive positive change and shifts will happen in our lifetime? So that is a good question. And I'm going to be completely and totally honest with you. Even just like 1 year ago, I would have said, oh my God, I think we're doomed. A lot has changed even within myself in the last year, a lot of inner growth, a lot of, I guess you could call it spiritual growth, but more like inner work that I've done on myself, on my belief systems. I 100% think that the world is not doomed. I completely think that we're already in the positive side. And I think that what's going to make the biggest difference is not like, protesting in the streets and getting angry and sending all these like letters to government. And it's not even so much about those things. It's about changing our own personal frequency. So the way that they're winning with the people that are unawakened is they're poisoning them, basically. They're poisoning us too. But the way that they're winning with us, the people that we would call more awakened, even though I don't like saying that because I find it like a bit douchey or whatever. But the people that are aware of what's happening, they're getting us by also keeping us low vibe. They're poisoning some people and keeping them in a mental fear state, being scared of viruses and different things. And that is like keeping their vibe low. And our vibe is low because we're feeling the same way about chemtrails and government and evil aliens. And I mean, whatever you want to call it, right? Like whatever it is that different people believe is going on. Being awake and being high vibrational and creating change in the world is really different. And I don't say high vibrational like new age, spiritual, hippy dippy, like annoying stuff, but it's literally like holding higher vibration emotions. So I believe that ascension happens with each and every single one of us, and it happens by connecting to unconditional love energy and basically like mastering our own emotions, mastering our own triggers, mastering our own fears, mastering our physical health, getting independent of these systems. I don't think we realize as a population how powerful our choices are. If you don't buy Coca-Cola, you are bankrupting Coca-Cola. If every person doesn't buy it, they don't exist anymore. Like they can make all they want, but nobody's buying that stuff. We have always had the power. There's no such thing as like government and elite having power. It's we are feeding into those narratives and we are putting energy there. So we are giving them this perceived power. None of it is real. We all individually have the power. Even if somebody like walks up to you and puts a gun in your face, like you have the choice to embrace that situation with love. And we're only here to master our own energy. We're not really here to fight a big system, you know? And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do stuff. Like I'm all about sharing information because people are not going to realize the power they have, or that they should make better choices if they don't know how toxic, you know, Coca-Cola or other things are. No offense to Coke, but you know what I mean? It's like sharing information is really important and really powerful because it gives people the chance to choose to do things from a higher vibe place, to choose to kind of conquer the system by putting their money where their heart is, putting their money in what they believe in, putting their energy in what they believe in. So it's good to be awake, but also we could feel very doomed as well, just because it's so easy to feel discouraged when there's so much like negative information. But whether you're believing that it's negative truth or negative lies, it's still negative. And we need to learn how to like reconnect to nature, connect to people, connect to our love energy, do the best we can, make the best choices we can, like, you know, be in a different energy ourselves. That is so powerful. That is why they're attacking us, because each of us has the ability to hold a vibration that can literally change a whole country. Like humans are really powerful in a way that they don't want us to know. So just be happy, enjoy your life, make the best choices you can. Check out my course because it will literally remove suffering from your life, your experience, your family's life and experience. And that will already help you hold a higher vibration, right? A healthy biome, a body free of synthetics, getting metals out, having a clean liver, having a healthy working brain. It becomes much happier to manifest or align ourselves with a better outcome because we're able to feel happier and show up with more love and light and share more truth and have enough energy to make changes that we need to make that would really impact the world at large. So yeah. After a missed miscarriage, what's the best way to remove the dead fetus, placenta, or any tissue without doing D&Z or taking drugs? So it really depends on how far along you were in the pregnancy. If it's a miscarriage in the first trimester, there's a few options like herbal options and things like that. Some people use dong quai, some people use vitamin C, pure ascorbic acid, not from black mold and not with bioflavonoids. This is not like a healthy vitamin C. You're just getting like pure ascorbic acid powder. And taking that will basically suppress progesterone levels, and dong quai herb can create a bit of uterine contraction, and that can help. But that might not be enough if the pregnancy is far enough along. So I mean, it's hard to say for sure. There may be the need to do a DNC or a taking like misoprostol or whatever. I personally, even though I know it's more invasive, I think if it was me, I would choose the DNC, the curettage, because today they have way less invasive ways of doing it than they used to, like even decades ago. And that is probably a more successful way to eliminate. Also, depending on your body and how you handle artificial prostaglandins, taking the pill, basically like the abortion pill, might be a bit aggressive. It just really depends. But some people like do better with that. It will really depend. But if it was me, I would probably, I mean, I'm very holistic, like I'm very, very hippie. I would probably try to like leave it for a month and see if my body doesn't just eliminate it on its own. I would drink like red raspberry tea and do a few things that are like uterine supportive. And yeah, maybe even do like a fast for a couple of days that could like trigger the body to kind of through autophagy, like get rid of the excess tissue. But if you notice that like the following month, you're not, releasing properly and all that stuff, or if you go for an ultrasound and you see that there really is still a lot of remaining tissue, then there might be something medical that needs to happen. But I'm a big believer in the human body, and I really do believe that the body knows how to eliminate what it doesn't need if we just give it a little time and patience. But again, every situation is unique, and so yeah, you'll have to kind of go with your gut on that one. Thank you for doing this in the detox program. No problem. I hope you guys like it. I'm so excited. I feel like if people really spread this around, it would like warm my heart to know that anybody who's been, I guess, poisoned or had other things happen can actually heal and detox from this. Like it's like an act of love. So I'd love to get like a bunch of messages from people that are healed. It'd be really beautiful for me. Awesome. Do you recommend a certain water purifier? I'm always concerned about water. So yes, there's a lot of good water purifiers. I've recommended in the past many, like there's basic and expensive ones like Berkey and stuff like that. I personally am a fan of distilled water. I, number one, find it super cheap, portable. You can take it anywhere. I mean, there's big fancy distillers like Durastill that'll distill like, 50 liters at a time or whatever it is. You can like attach it right to your sink. I don't bother with all that. I'm not in the financial bracket to do that. Also, I'm traveling and moving around all the time. I can't really have a huge distiller and just like go all around Mexico. So I bought a mega home distiller for, I think it was like $250 US or something. I bought two of them just because I go through a lot of water. And I've had them for like 5 years or something. They're super amazing. You buy these cheap little charcoal pads, and here in Mexico, I'm distilling bottled water because the tap water is literally like sewage where I'm living. And it has so much salt in it that it's just going to fry my distillers. So I'm buying bottled water and distilling that. But yeah, I would get like a cheap countertop distiller. It doesn't have to be Mega Home. That's just the one I have that I really like. But there's a lot of similar ones with a little glass like canister. And in a few hours, you make like 5 liters of water, 4 liters of water. It's not the most energy efficient in terms of electricity, but it's probably about the same as a water filter if it's running electrically all the time. So yeah, I would really recommend distilled water. I have a lot of videos where I talk about why completely pure water is the best water to drink in our modern world. Ideally, if you found an untarnished stream somewhere in the forest and like untouched by chemtrails, and with no giardia in it, then obviously drinking natural spring water that's alive and structured and full of electrolytes and all that stuff is going to be better. But distilled water is the best thing we're going to get if you're living in the city or a town or traveling like me, or just, yeah, it's better than drinking regular bottled. And things like Berkey are good, but there's always downsides, right? You have like, if you take the aluminum out, it deposits fluoride. It's like, there's almost always a catch, So distilled is really good. Some people like reverse osmosis, but you don't always get as pure a result. You can also buy on Amazon. I bought a TDS meter, like T as in Thomas, D as in Dominoes, S as in Sylvain. I don't know why that was the first word I came up with, but I had a boss named Sylvain years ago. Ugh, he was such an ass. I hope he's not watching this. But anyway, yeah, you can buy a TDS meter for, I think, like $12 or something. I bought one, and you can check your distilled water or your reverse osmosis water or even your bottled waters and find out what the ppm, parts per million, is. You can always get also like a water testing kit and look up reviews and stuff on different water filters. But yeah, I would go distilled. Like that's what I'm personally doing. So obviously I'm a fan. Can someone recover from stage 4 renal failure? Yes, I believe that they can. If you're in so depending the situation, stage 4 renal failure on dialysis for a really long time, it can weaken the kidneys. It's not saying that it's impossible. I would still focus on kidney healing. So the best things for the kidneys to regenerate them are going to be fresh juices. Carrot juice is amazing. Adding a little bit of parsley in there is amazing. Cucumber juice is amazing. Lemon water is good. A pinch of baking soda in water. Obviously, check with your doctor and everything you have going on. I don't know if there's any meds going on or anything like that, or if anything will I don't know if I got cut off. I think the internet got a little bit slow here. Sorry, guys. It's Mexico. What do you want? But yeah, the kidneys will basically heal and regenerate when the rest of the body and tissue regenerates. Another thing that is actually really good, this might be a bit harder to do if you're on dialysis and all that stuff, but actually urine therapy is really good to help regenerate damaged kidney tissue. I talk about that a little bit more in the course as well, and different options for that in my platform. But yeah, you can do some research on that. But yeah, I totally think it's healable. I would just focus on kidney healing. Also, check out metaphysical causes. You can just Google it online or on DuckDuckGo or something of kidney disease and look at the emotional cause of it, because every illness that we have has a vibration, has infections that are involved in it, has a biome that's involved in it, and it vibrates at a certain frequency. For example, like you look at 50, E. coli vibrates at 50, Candida at 55. So if you change your emotional frequency, you can see like actually I have all this information in my ebook, Fully Ascended. And I wasn't intending to upsell this, but actually it would kind of be perfect for this. It has the metaphysical cause of every illness in there from like Louise Hay's information. And it also has which essential oil to use for every condition that you have and how to use it. It talks about how all of the different emotions and what their vibrational frequency is, the diseases, different foods, different organ systems of the body. So you can basically see like what the actual frequency is of everything and how to manipulate it. I basically share how to biohack your frequency to get out of disease states. So something like stage 4 illnesses or kidney disease would probably benefit a lot from this. You can even rub like frankincense on your kidneys, anything that will raise the vibrational frequency, but also looking at the emotional, spiritual, metaphysical cause of kidney disease, because oftentimes we have emotional roots or environmental roots to what's happening and why that's manifesting for us. And if we address that, the kidneys like spontaneously start recovering. It's actually really powerful stuff. And I've had a lot of kidney stuff too. I know it's a total pain in the ass, but I didn't have kidney failure, but I think I was like at stage 2 or something with nonstop kidney infections and stuff. So yeah, I do believe you can regenerate. I think if you're alive, you can heal from anything. Like, I don't believe there's anything you can't heal from. Like literally, I don't think there's anything. Even if you've taken chemo, even if you're on death's door, I think if you start the process of healing and you raise your emotional frequency and you kind of like biohack your body a bit and you fix your microbiome, your tissue just starts regenerating. The only time it stops is when you're already dead. So yeah, it's just like amazing. The human body is unbelievable. I've seen actual miracles and spontaneous miracles happen for people like crazy. So yeah, definitely always have hope. If you don't believe you can heal, you definitely won't, because you won't even pursue healing modalities or be in the right frequency. Just hope of healing, the frequency of hope is super high vibe. It already ends disease. So just believing there's a cure, whether you actually have that cure or not, is already healing you, like literally. So yeah. Stage 3 breast cancer, any hope for natural remedies, or is chemoradiation the way to go? Combine natural and medical treatment. So I'm super, super holistic. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm totally biased. Like, I'm going to just call it out. If it was me, I wouldn't bother the route of chemo or radiation. But that said, I'm going to answer both sides, because I don't think you have to follow my direction. You have to do what really calls to you and what is ultimately going to make you feel safer. I would say that a surgery oftentimes is safer than chemotherapy for cancers. For the most part, but it won't change your inner terrain, right? The chemo will obviously make your inner terrain worse, but things that can work really, really well for breast cancer is actually bee pollen. If you get like organic wild raw bee pollen and you take a tablespoon or 2 of that a day, it has phytoestrogens, which they'll have you believe is bad for your breast tissue, but it isn't. It's super, super healing. They have bee pollen, if it's raw, has over 200 different types of bacteria. It's an amazing probiotic. It has like immune modulating properties, tons of nutrients. It's super, super great for you. I would do like green juices, alkalizing, take a half a teaspoon of baking soda 3 times a day and some water away from your meals. I would take something bitter to detox the liver and heal the blood, something like haritaki or neem or milk thistle, or what's the other one? Burdock root is good for detoxing the blood. Drinking red raspberry leaf tea, rubbing clary sage essential oil, which is unbelievably incredible for women's hormonal health and for breast tissue. Mixing a little bit of clary sage with some coconut oil, very little cocoa oil, and just rubbing that into your breast tissue. Sorry, not meaning to rub my boobs live, but rubbing it into your breast tissue like 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Like these things are really powerful. Also taking frankincense, food grade essential oil. The one that I take internally is from a company called Zongle. You can even buy it on Amazon, but I usually get it right from the company. Like Zongle. I'm sure there's other food grade ones, but only take internal grade. You make sure it's like an internal grade essential oil. But taking like 3 or 4 drops of frankincense essential oil 2, 3 times a day, kind of before your meals, excuse me, I just had dinner, is going to be amazing too for like eliminating cancers in the body. So whether you choose to do the route of surgery or chemotherapy, I would still include all these modalities. If you are going to do chemo specifically, then I would recommend going into ketosis. Fasting, like the day of your chemo or even the day before, the day of, and the day after, that has actually eliminated a lot of the side effects for most people. So I'm not saying I'm pro chemo, but if you are going to do it, then fasting would be amazing. Of course, fasting is something you can utilize anyways, and urine therapy. I'm going into a whole tangent. I have many videos with a lot more detail about this in my platform, but urine therapy is really good too, because you have the enzymes and what's the word I'm looking for? You basically have like the antidote to every single thing happening in your body that is excreted in your urine, reminding your body to deal with it. Breast cancer is basically a fungal issue, like most cancers are, a microbiome and immune disbalance, and also emotional stuff going on too for breast cancer a lot. So look into the metaphysical causes. In the last point, I just talked about my ebook, Fully Ascended. That's the one where I have the metaphysical cause of everything and which essential oils to use for every condition and what cancer vibrates at, which is basically 42, and how you have to raise your frequency above that. So even high vibration essential oils rubbed topically on your feet, taken internally if they're food grade. Like the high vibe ones are like blue Idaho spruce, which is like, I think at 432. And then you have, I think 320, which is rose. And you have frankincense, which is like 147. And you have, I think helichrysum is 181. I don't even know how I remember this. It's all in my book. But anyway, you have some really high vibe essential oils that can just decimate cancer. So yeah, take a look at your options. Some people are curing it with carrot juice. I mean, there's a lot of ways to heal breast cancer, totally. So yeah, you can, if you're going to go medical, definitely protect yourself by using natural modalities as well. And if you want to go natural, I would give it a solid like 3 to 6 months completely natural, and then do the emotional work and all that stuff. And then you probably won't even need anything else. So yeah. If you know Kambo, where would you phase it into your cleanse? So Kambo is kind of like its own thing. I'm not against plant medicines. I'm actually not. I used to be a lot more against them. I had like a more biased opinion in that way. I do think that they have a place for some people. I've never done it personally. I know it's really popular around here where I'm living, and a lot of my friends and stuff have done it. I would say that Kambo would be something you would do after you've done at least stage 1 and stage 2 of the course detox. Basically, clean out your mucoid plaque, clean out your gut, clean out your DNA, get synthetics out of your body, start the regeneration of tissue, get rid of like mucus and stagnation and stuff in your body, get rid of parasites and fungus. And then I would do Kambo if you were going to do it. I mean, I don't recommend doing it, but if you were going to do it, I would do it like around then. Then you would do the reculture phase, because Kambo is quite intense for the body. It's like a poison basically. So you're going to kill off a lot of your good flora by doing it, I would think. I can't say that for sure. I'm not super schooled in Kambo, to be honest, but that would just be my guess, is you might like reculture and then you probably won't need Kambo. But if you were going to do it, I would do it before the reculture process. Then once you've like sweated all that crap out, you basically reculture your gut and then move into the healthy phase. So any like ayahuasca or intense things like that, I would probably do like before or around the reculture phase. You can kind of do it around the same time. It's totally fine. But yeah. Let me have some of my tea. I made, oh my gosh, so don't tell the Argentinians, but I'm having basically never mate in a cup. I'm having my ginger tea in here, but I love this. It's like, you can just put sliced ginger or like loose herbs, you put your water, and then you drink it through like a little straw. I'm obsessed. Okay. Our vibe is low because we are also frustrated with The Walking Dead. We can't save them, we can't abandon them. Yes, that's true. But I'll tell you, and trust me, I'm like, I completely get you. I get you. I feel you. I've been there too. I have my moments. The emotion of frustration is low vibe because we're wanting other people to change. What we don't realize is that by changing our own frequency, we're already outpowering like a million people. Like me being high vibe, if I'm able to, and it's hard, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like walking around like all day long, like I have inner work, I have triggers. It's been a rough few years for me. I think for everyone in the world, but so but if we can get to a place where we're unconditionally loving the people that don't know and loving their choices and like accepting fully the reality of what duality is on earth, that is like the work we have to do internally, right? Like not to be frustrated with people. And I it's so hard. Sometimes I get really angry and I'm like, oh my God, like why? Like it's making it so hard for the world to be better. But it's not actually true. Like we're all here on a different journey and we're all here like on our own mission basically and on our own path. And some people, they have to learn that way. They have to learn the hard way. There's not actually a right or wrong, even though we like to rationalize that with our human mind, right? So yeah, it's frustrating and it's difficult, but that frustration is our challenge. They're frustrated with us too. We all have the challenge of overcoming frustration. It doesn't matter what we're frustrated about, right? Whether we're hating the anti-vaxxers or we're hating the pro-vaxxers or we're hating the pro-government, hating the anti-government, it's still hate either way, right? And we're still just as low vibe as them if we're feeding into that or believing that. And I mean, there was a time where I was like, there was a time where I was really low vibe about it, honestly. And I really had to like learn to love and accept and be less afraid and be less fearful, even myself, of like, contamination and all these things, not from viruses, but more from like the poisons. And I don't know, I had to like work through and get over all that stuff. We all have to kind of like learn patience and that stuff. It's hard, but what's helped me a lot is to look inward and realize that actually a lot of the problems I'm seeing in the world are existing as conflicts within myself as well. So we're plenty busy doing our inner work if we're really doing it. So it makes it a little bit easier to focus less on what other people are doing. And when we can learn love and compassion with ourselves and our own limitations, it makes it a lot easier for us to tolerate other people's shortcomings and weaknesses and lack of knowledge and all that stuff, right? Tennessee just became the first state to make a law against chemtrails. I love it. There's a song that I love, Tennessee Whiskey. I forget. I think it's like Chris Stapleton. If you guys haven't heard that song, it is so good. I don't know. That just reminded me of that. Tattoo ink stores in lymph nodes. Is there any way to drain them to remove it from our system? So I have tattoos too. Actually, which side is it? Oh no, it's this one. It's because it's literally the opposite. I have 2 tattoos. I got them when I was 14. I'm not proud. They're not great, but it's fine. They were free. Yes, tattoos do store. You can always get your tattoo removed. If you are going to get your tattoo removed through laser or something, it's going to blast the metal all throughout your body. So you're going to want to do a metal absorption protocol like charcoal, bentonite clay, bitters like spirulina, chlorella, that kind of stuff. Like if you really want to stop the problem of tattoos, you're probably going to have to get rid of the tattoo. Otherwise, I would say not to stress too much about it and to support your lymphatic system through things like jumping on a rebounder, taking enough sun, grounding, eating a lot of greens, purifying the blood. Things like burdock root can be really great and super supportive. Things like dry skin brushing. Personally, I'm obsessed with using like a facial gua sha. It's like the little piece of stone or whatever, and I just like I totally feel like it depuffs. But yeah, so things like that will help a lot too, and just like sweating in the sauna will be good. But of course, if you have tattoos, there's slow leakage. Your body is trying to work through it and all that. But I even like microbladed my eyebrows many years ago, so I still have some of that going on. I mean, it is what it is, right? If the tattoo is not on if the metal's not on our body, we're breathing it in, we're eating it. So there's only so much we can do. But yeah, if there's a lot of tattoos going on and you're having like effects from that and stuff, then supporting lymphatic drainage will be really helpful. I think, yeah. I mean, I'm going to share something that I try to do. And I used to be a lot more like neurotic and anal about these things, but I do my best to not like if I'm gonna do something shady, or I've done something not shady, but like suboptimal, I try to not worry about it. Like I try to be like, I only have a couple tattoos. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. Getting rid of them is more hassle than it's worth. If I am going to like eat something junky, or I am going to stay up late or whatever, I just try to do it with love and not to worry. Like I try to worry about the things I can control and just release and surrender the things that I can't. So in the absence of like removing your tattoo or whatever, if you're going to keep them, like I wouldn't stress about it or worry too much about it or focus too much on it, because we will experience what we focus on. And it's the same as like if you go and eat a pad thai at like a dirty Asian restaurant, not saying Asian restaurants are dirty, all of them, but like let's say you're eating at a shady Asian restaurant with tons of MSG and sugar and all that nasty stuff. If you're thinking about all that while you're eating it, you're for sure gonna like feel it, But if you just go and you eat it, you like bless the food and you put love in it, you're just like, pad thai, I'm all about it. This is healing every cell in my body. And you eat it with love and you just really enjoy it, you're probably not really gonna notice much, even if there is a bunch of chemicals in it. So yeah, it's all about kind of like our approach that way too. So whatever, I always tell people, like, nobody's perfect. We all have something we did wrong. Like I've got missing teeth. I got an implant. I got missing organs. We've all done stuff. I have tattoos, piercings even. So yeah, we have to just kind of like do the best we can with the choices that we've made before we knew better. And yeah, just kind of like relax with the rest of it. I don't know if that helps, but that helps me a lot to not worry too much about it. Hold on. I got more questions. I eat so healthy and clean, and yet I can't seem to drop weight and always feel bloated. I go through the course. Will it be a new experience? I'm 52 in menopause. Yeah. So if you are having trouble losing weight, it's because your gut is basically unhealthy, if that makes sense. And I used to be the same, actually. You guys can even look back at videos. Well, now they're not really on here anymore, but there's videos. Like I was at one point, like almost honestly like 35 pounds more than I am now, and just really bloated and inflamed and not doing that great. And I was like, it was impossible for me to lose weight. I was eating like 1,200 calories of raw vegan food, and I was just like bloated. And things that help a lot, I actually have a weight loss course, like a protocol on my platform. If you go to wevolve.io and you look at the shop, you'll see my weight loss course there. I have a lot of videos also. You can join Wevolve for like $15. And anyway, I'm going to give you tips here, and just like watch all my weight loss videos and you'll be able to nail it. I think I have some that are like really, really good. But yeah, the thing that helped me the most, me personally, with weight loss and stagnant gut was doing liver flushing. Like once I did 4, 5, 6 liver flushes, I just like dropped 20 pounds. And literally I eat the same, I eat like 10 times more, but I eat the same amount of stuff, the same things, like sugar all the time. I don't eat perfectly. I'm really like, food is my indulgence, kind of like I don't drink, I don't party, I don't stay up super late. I generally live really healthy. I ground and walk on the beach every morning, 10K, but like eating sweets and stuff and chocolate and like tons and tons of fruit and these kind of things are sort of like more what I do. And I was able to really maintain a slim physique after doing liver flushing. That for me was a game changer. But the course, so in addition to the course, the liver flushing might be something that really, really helps you. But I would first do the course, at least stage 1, stage 2, clean your gut. That already might make the difference. And when you culture your gut with better bacteria, weight loss will be more effortless, because when we're hoarding weight or storing weight or unable to lose weight, it's because the body is too inflamed, the liver is too backed up, and the gut itself, the way it metabolizes food, is like kind of toxic and inflammatory for the body. People with a lot of like Akkermansia or Lactobacillus gasseri or Lactobacillus plantarum, there's a few strains of bacteria that are like linked with being thin. And when you reculture your gut with things like raw milk kefir, sauerkraut, beet kvass, water kefir, even though that one's not as good for these purposes, coconut yogurt, coconut kefir, probiotics, like you can try those things. That will help a lot. But I got to tell you, until I cleaned my gut and cleaned my liver, I was having a hard time because my body was so stagnant. So that was one part of it. Another part I want to talk about with weight loss that is so, so, so important is our mindset. So there was a period of time where I was like, oh, if I eat like one chocolate, I'm going to be fat. I had a history of eating disorder. I had like all this mental mishugas because I'd had allergies and illnesses since I was a child. I was scared of foods because my gut was so unhealthy. I felt bloated when I ate everything. I had all this like psychological warfare going on with food and nutrition. And that was like kind of hard psychologically to break. But one day to the next, I kind of decided I was going to choose a different mental approach, and I was going to nourish my body with more love and stop fearing foods and eat things that intuitively I feel like are good for my body, even if it's not on like the protocol I'm trying to do. And I also changed my belief system to one where I just started repeating to myself, like, everything I eat makes me healthier and thinner and more vibrant and is good for my gut and is nourishing my body, and I was just kind of like putting that intention when I sat down to eat my meals, and I was just chewing more and being more present with my food. And that made a huge difference too. But if you have a really congested body, you're going to want to do this course, at least do the first thing I talk about, which is mindset. And then part 1, which is the like detox and elimination. Part 2, if you want to do that, which is a little bit more intense, will clean out your parasites, your fungus, your liver, and your gut, all your mucoid plaque. And then you'll be a different person. And then of course you want to reculture and like boost your good bacteria and stuff, but you'll be doing it on a virgin terrain, like on a clean terrain. But even before that happened, liver flushing was kind of a game changer for me, and walking minimum 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half, depending on how fast you walk, but it's kind of like going for like a half-hour walk in the morning and then like maybe a 40-minute walk at night, something like that. So just getting your body moving, even like an hour, half-hour morning, half-hour at night, just walking at a normal pace, not fast walking, nothing stressful. Listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook, listen to some fun music, get a standing desk. Walking is the best exercise for weight loss. Sorry, I kind of like went into a tangent. Anyway, I have a lot more info about this and like my whole story with all that too. Bone spurs and arthritis. I literally just did a video about this. The first thing that you want to do if you have arthritis or bone spurs is start taking food grade borax. If you're a woman, you can start a little lower than this, but you're going to work your way up to an eighth a teaspoon, small spoon, measured flat, not more, an eighth a teaspoon in a liter of water. And you're going to drink that 5 days on, 2 days off. So Monday to Friday, stop at the weekend. This is boron supplement. If you're a man, you're going to double that and do a quarter teaspoon. If you're a larger man, if you're a small man, you can do a woman's dose, like an eighth a teaspoon, I mean. So, but yeah, you're going to basically, that's some people in 6 days, their arthritic symptoms start to go away. The next thing you're going to want to do is find out if you're intolerant to certain foods. I have a lot of videos in the tribe where I talk about that. You can always get testing done. You can also do muscle testing. Kinesiology is a good place to start with that. I teach you how to muscle test yourself and make your own yes and no food list as well. If you're interested in that, you guys can check out the tribe. But yeah, I would like make sure that or you can also just do an elimination diet. Cut everything out but meat or white rice or something simple that you don't react to, bananas, whatever, and then add one food at a time and see what flares you and creates like inflammation in your body. And then culturing your gut will make a huge difference as well. I miss hearing you. I always, thank you. It's so sweet. Okay, hold on. How do you feel about taking mushrooms such as red reishi, chaga, cordyceps? Medicinal mushrooms are awesome. And I'm not talking magic mushrooms. I'm literally talking like this, like cordyceps, reishi, all of that. They're amazing. You want to source them well, make sure they're not coming from like China or something and not full of heavy metals. You want to make sure they're really good quality. I would probably try one mushroom at a time. I have like right now, I love coffee, but I don't drink coffee because it stresses me out. So I have this decaf mix that I got from, I think it was Paleo Valley, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a company called Paleo Valley. I'm not paleo, but that's the company that had this mushroom coffee. And basically it's a decaf coffee with a bunch of different mushrooms in it. So sometimes I have that and I don't really notice anything, but if you're looking for true medicinal purposes, I would start with like maybe either like reishi or chaga, or you could do cordyceps too. Just try one at a time and see how you do and see how you react, see how you feel. And then you can try playing around. And I would do like one for like a week or two and see if it does anything. Then if you feel it and you like it, keep it. If not, get rid of it and try another one. Then find one or two that you like. You don't have to do all of them, but they're certainly not bad for you if they're sourced well. I mean, not everybody does well with mushrooms. It's very individualized health. It's hard to say like this is good and this is bad because one person could feel amazing on bananas. Another person could get bloated and feel horrible. One person heals their bladder with spinach and another one is screaming in pain because of oxalates. It depends on what's happening in your gut and your body. So, you'll have to kind of play around with what's going on with you and really intuit like what's happening within. Bum, 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 bum. Never matcha. Is matcha bad? I like matcha. I find green tea and matcha sits better with me. I'm not a big caffeine fan. If I do caffeine, it's like kombucha just because I like the taste. But yeah, I would do matcha if you like it and you tolerate it. You're trying to like, you want a little caffeine, but you don't want anything too crazy. There's another tea that I love. I think it's stronger than matcha, but I love, love, love it. It's called pu'er tea, like Pu-ER. I get organic aged pu'er. I think I got mine from Etsy. It's like these little squares that you put it in, basically like one of these or in tea. And I really, really like it. Like that one is good for me. And it's also kind of fermented. I mean, you're putting hot water on it, probably killing a lot of the microbes, but it's more easily digested and it has more nutrients and stuff. So pu'er tea could be a good option too if you're not into matcha, but you're still looking for caffeine and you're trying to avoid coffee. What do you think of mushroom microdose? I just did a detailed video about this too. So I would have said a year ago that I'm not a fan of mushrooms, but I've changed my mind since. I think that it can be really helpful for people. I don't think it should be done super long term. I think it's really good for optimizing gut microflora because it kind of acts as a probiotic. And I think it helps with new neural pathways. It will basically bring to the surface what's happening in your subconscious. I'm a fan of doing it like as little as possible. So if you are going to do mushroom microdosing for depression or whatever, you'll want to do it like once, take like 3-4 days off, do it again. Like doing it every single day, people can get a bit reliant on it. It does have a bit of like a dopamine effect. I mean, I've done like mushrooms for recreational purposes and stuff like that, especially a lot younger. And that's like fine. It's better than other options if they're natural, but it's obviously not the real root cause of depression and all those things. Like culturing your gut, detoxing your body, getting rid of heavy metals, getting your nutrition status up will help a lot. If your depression is more like dopamine based, meaning you're feeling uninspired and unmotivated, let me sit on something. My couch, sorry guys, my couch is like super, it's like this weird like fake leather material and it just makes my butt sweaty. And if I put the AC on, then basically I'm going to be really loud noises in the background, like, eh. So I'm just sweating here for y'all. But yeah, so I would probably stick to microdosing if you're going to do it versus like macro dosing, unless you're doing it just to have fun, at which point, hey, have fun. I don't know. Who am I to judge? The book you said for Louise, the essential oils, is called Fully Ascended. Let me actually link it for you guys. Give me one sec. Let me just get to my website. Yeah, so it's in, if you go to wevolve.io/shop, but I'll put it here. It's called, the book is called Fully Ascended. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. You guys will also see my website in the description. All right, I got lost now that I went into the bottom. Thank you so much for all your love and knowledge. Oh, my menstrual cycle has been very imbalanced and I've had about 2 months without having a period. I'm not sexually active. What do I do? So this happens sometimes. I know medicine and even holistic practitioners will have you worry when your body does something that's like weird or hormonally like off or something like that. I know it makes us worry, and it's not the greatest sign when we don't have our period, although I've gone for periods without it too, if I was like underweight or malnourished or whatever else. But usually it's a sign of protein deficiency, iron deficiency, maybe like some kind of malnourishment going on. Like maybe the diet doesn't have enough healthy fats or doesn't have enough minerals, doesn't have enough greens, doesn't have enough protein. Like if you're a vegan and this is happening, you may want to incorporate more healthy fats or some animal foods, not necessarily, but just more mineral dense foods, upping the fat, see if that helps. And if you're just like an omnivore right now, maybe just optimizing the diet. There's a website called chronometer.com. Let me actually see if I can link it for you guys. Oh, hold on. Oh, my internet is weird right now. Okay, anyways, but basically it's chronometer.com, like CRONOMETER. You can plug in everything you eat in a day and it will show you like what's happening in terms of your nutrients and your minerals. You might need more B vitamins, more vitamin A, fat soluble vitamins like vitamin D, more sunshine, grounding. Make sure you're eating enough calories. I would do something like that. But If it was me, I would just let my body ride it out. If my body's choosing not to have a period, it just doesn't have it to sacrifice. And I would like do more hormone supporting things like clary sage essential oil is amazing to rub topically on your body. Having more what's that tea? I just talked about it. Red raspberry leaf tea is really good also for hormonal cycles. You can try to stimulate your cycle by doing like dong quai tea and things like that too. But I wouldn't do anything too drastic or go start taking a bunch of hormone replacement. I'd give it a bit of time and I'd focus on nutrition. A lot of people get their period back when they either gain weight, or if that's not your case, when they optimize their nutrition, or when they hydrate more, when they increase their iron. Things like grass-fed liver and things like that can help as well to reinduce a period. Seborrheic keratosis. So you have a microbiome issue, which is what's causing the skin issue. If you haven't checked out my course, my detox course, do stage 1 and stage 2 and stage 3. Stage 4 you can play around with. It's basically like optimizing. But if you clean out your gut, get your nutrition in place, get rid of parasites and fungus, and you basically reculture your gut, which is stage 3, you're going to get rid of this condition. Actually, my mom just had a really intense, like puscular, awful rash, like all over her chest out of nowhere. It just came one day to the next. She was itching. She didn't even tell me for like a month. She was trying to get rid of it. She put essential oil. She put a million things on it. Nothing worked. I went over to her house. I brought her some milk kefir. She rubbed milk kefir on it. She started drinking a quarter cup a day. And in 3 days, rash gone. She only put the kefir on it twice because she said it stank. She drank a quarter cup of raw goat milk kefir that I made myself with organic milk kefir grains from literally Amazon. And she basically had a quarter cup of that a day. And within 3 days, the rash was gone. It's been like months now, or I think at least a month or whatever, and she hasn't had a recurrence. She's still drinking the kefir. Her gut was not optimal. Skin conditions are caused by gut issues, also vitamin A deficiency. So having more carrot juice, having more vitamin A supplements like cod liver oil, or maybe even taking like a vitamin A based fish oil for a short period of time can help a lot as well. But ultimately you want to fix the biome, right? To fix the skin biome. Is it worth it to drink Lifeway kefir if you can't make it raw? Yeah, I mean, any kefir that you're going to drink, even the store-bought organic ones that are unflavored, are going to be better than nothing. There's a few strains of bacteria. I think the Lifeway one is like a little bit better than the average store-bought one. But yeah, totally. Do what you can with it, you know? Some people even just like get canned coconut milk or organic pasteurized milk, and they open some probiotics in there, and like anything like that is going to help, you know. I mean, I'm not a fan of pasteurized milk, but if you ferment it a little and play around, you can get some good benefit there. Let's see. What do I think about brain retraining? Amazing. Anything about mindset mastery, brain retraining, neuro retraining, German new medicine, like overcoming your belief systems, biology of belief, all that stuff is super cool. Like that is pretty much the fastest way to heal from anything. It's all about mindset and our emotional frequency. So I'm a huge fan. I know the chlorine is probably horrible in spas, but I love to soak. Is there something I should try to not do? So this is a big one. My sister actually just had a baby and he loves the pool, and they're always all day long in a chlorinated pool. So we're like dealing with that in the family. Chlorine is awful for your body. It pretty much decimates your skin biome. It actually evaporates into the air, which is why it stinks like when you walk by a chlorinated pool. So you're breathing in chlorine vapor, and it pretty much ruins your thyroid, amongst other things. So it's really not ideal. I don't want to say like, yeah, enjoy, go ahead, have fun, like go every day. But I understand soaking is an amazing thing. I would say that if you are going to go in a chlorinated pool, then your best bet is to use 5% Lugol's transdermal iodine and place it on your forearm and put quite a bit, probably like a whole dropper. Careful, it leaks, it stains. You want to be careful where you do this. And you're going to rub it in, and you're going to do that every single day, maybe even like twice on the days when you go in the pool. And you'll want to take also an iodine supplement orally. You can do like 1 or 2 drops of Lugol's 5%, or you can do like 3 or 4 drops of 2%, or you can do 1 or 2 drops of nascent iodine, like Detoxidine is a good one from Global Healing Center. I think I'm taking an iodine now. I can't say how great it is because I just started it, but I'll still share it with you guys. It's from Doc of Detox. It's a little bit more expensive. It's like a liquid iodine solution. So I'm trying out some of his stuff now. I really love his magnesium, actually. He has this like epic magnesium, but also it's very expensive. But anyway, it lasts quite a while. But yeah, making sure that you're upping the iodine, maybe taking a 1/4 teaspoon of dulse and kelp flakes every day as well will help to combat some of the effects. And you could sweat in a sauna, make sure that you're hydrated, shower before you, like, don't bake in the sun after the pool or whatever it is, and you know, that kind of thing. But obviously the goal is saltwater or hydrogen peroxide pool or living near an ocean, but I know that's not like doable for everybody. Have I tried the keto diet? Oh, yes, I have. I've done keto. I've done carnivore. I have done all the extreme diets. I've done raw vegan. I've done fruitarian. I don't think there's a single diet that exists on earth that I haven't tried or done for at least a 4-month or 6-month period of time. Keto is amazing for some people, like amazing. I actually feel pretty good when I do keto. I'm a pretty high energy person and I just don't have a lot of discipline with food. If I start eating too much, like watching macros and doing all these type things, like I literally, it stresses me out. I don't like it. I like to kind of just like eat with love. So that's me personally, but the keto diet is epic. I actually recommend it a lot for people with neurological issues. It's amazing if you want to start incorporating fasting without hunger. And of course, fasting is like the greatest healing modality of all time if you do it safely. So yeah, keto can be amazing, you know, and it can starve out pathogenic bacteria and heal the gut in a lot of ways, depending on how you do the diet. So generally, I recommend low sugar overall for most people. But yeah, keto's a good diet. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. As long as it's not making you have a mental mishugas, then you're good. Or it's not giving you like the shits all day, because that happens too for some people in their biome. So play around with it. What kind of liver flushes to do? So actually, I'm going to do a video soon in the platform where I share like quick fix detoxes for the body, like little things you could do at home for your liver, for your kidneys. One thing you can do that's really easy and long-term and doesn't require a lot of effort for like liver cleansing is half of a lemon with 2 tablespoons of organic extra virgin olive oil, really good quality olive oil. And you're going to take that after some water first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and don't eat anything for at least like half an hour, 45 minutes. If you don't do well with fats, you might get queasy from this, but that's a good strategy. If you want to do that like every day for like 6 months or something, you'll do a good liver detox. Also, milk thistle is amazing. Liver flushing, the one that I did, was kind of more the wellness mama, I think, or like Andrea Moritz style liver flush. I have videos about that where I talk about it too. But basically, I was doing the Epsom salts, like 4 doses of Epsom salts with grapefruit or lemon juice with half a cup of olive oil after a week of apple cider vinegar or apple juice to soften the stones. And it was like a 1-day flush, but 1-week prep. And I was doing that every 2 weeks to a month for like a while. I really like did the longest amount of anything doing liver flushing. And that was pretty epic. I think I did way longer than I needed, to be honest, but some really cool stuff came out. You know, like at one point I had like black stones come out. I had like fluorescent blue stones come out from, I think, all the Advil liquid gel food coloring that got trapped in there. I have no idea, but it was not green. It was like blue. I've also had, tons of liver stones come out when I'm not actually drinking olive oil. So I know for sure that it's not just an olive oil lemon saponification. I've done like all kinds of different experiments with it. I've had liver stones come out just from literally having like too much coconut oil on an empty stomach, with berberine and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like getting out your liver stones is pretty powerful, but you can start that process by doing just 2 tablespoons of olive oil with a half a lemon. What time is it? Oh, you guys, I'm going to stay on. Oh, I have to plug in my laptop. You have to give me 1 sec. I got to get my charger. I'll be back. Okay. Give me 1 second. I try not to keep my laptop. I've talked too much today. My laptop, oh my God, I did it again. It's so funny. My laptop plugged in when I'm working on it because it increases EMF and it's not as healthy. And anyway, but yeah, guys, I'm going to have to run probably in about 15 minutes because my partner is going to be home soon. And I promised him we were going to go for a walk, that I wasn't going to work all night. But yeah, let me try to answer some more questions for you guys. Do you ever drink kratom, and what are my thoughts on it? So my best friend here in Mexico, she loves kratom and she drinks it all the time. I've actually never tried it. I'm kind of like a wimp with those types of things. Like I feel like I took 5 speeds when I have one coffee. I drink a kombucha and I feel totally drunk. Like I'm very sensitive to any kind of stimulants or things like that. So I meant to do an experiment with mushroom microdosing a while ago because people kept asking me like, oh, what do you think about it? And I think I took like one time a long time ago, like a micro dose, and didn't like it. But anyway, I've been meaning to do it, and I have the stuff here, but it's been like 3 months. It's sitting here like rotting, basically. I don't think it goes bad, but I'm not a fan of any of these kind of. I know kratom's more soft core, but I'm more nervous with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I know like kava and kratom are really popular and people see amazing results with it. I know people who swear by it, who it's really helped them. My friend says it really helps her when she has headaches and stuff. But yeah, I can't really say for sure because I've never tried it, but I don't think it's horrible. I think anything like that though is something to do on occasion versus all the time. That's just my take on it. I think it can kind of like a bit wreak havoc on your nervous system after a while. I'm a month into urotherapy and I've been feeling really sick and weak with crazy detox symptoms. So, yes. Well, first of all, cut down. I don't know how much you're drinking, but just try having a little bit of your morning pee. And if you're drinking too much throughout the day and you're feeling really, really sick, I would like really tone it down and cut down. Another thing too is that like urine, though it can be really healing because it's sort of like an antidote for your body, it can be really dehydrating as well. And if you're doing stage 2 with like the mucoid plaque detox, that can be really dehydrating. When I was doing that part, like I talk about that in the video, you want to do electrolytes and things like that as well, because you're pulling stuff out of your body, you're binding. If it's just the urotherapy that's making you feel sick, you could have a lot of detoxing to do and you're relying just on that. Maybe things like sunshine, sleeping enough, grounding, making sure you're eating a really nutritious diet, making sure you're incorporating juices, drink enough water, add some salt to your water, make sure your electrolytes are on point and that you're not getting dehydrated. Some people, when they do urotherapy, they're just like drinking their pee all day long and they're not really like hydrating well, and it could be dehydration that's causing a lot of the symptoms as well. But I also felt like kind of royal ass when I started. So it takes time for your body. Also the state of your gut, how quickly you can detox uric acid. You might have to cut down, make sure you're alkalizing. You can also add a pinch of baking soda to your water morning and night, like maybe a quarter teaspoon or something like that, to alkalize your system so that your urine is not so acidic or full of toxins. Like that can also help. You can also try stopping for a week and then start a little bit at again and give your body a rest. You definitely don't have to like push through and feel like crap. You know, you can go slow with it, right? It's important to listen to our body. What do we think about probiotic replacement through enema? I've talked about this. So yeah, I've talked about kefir implants. Be very careful. It can make you very, very dizzy and like almost have like a syncope kind of like reaction where you're almost like faint and stuff. So be really careful with kefir implants. But sour milk implants, a lot of people do with success. Water with probiotics in it, a lot of people do with success. They're great. I mean, you have a lot of miles of intestine, and even if you put 10 probiotic caps in there, there's only so much mileage you're going to get. You'll have more benefit from that if you kind of like clean out your gut first and stuff. And I would say that things like kefir and coconut yogurt and beet kvass and consuming orally a lot of probiotics and fermented foods will have a quicker effect. But of course, things like FMT and rectal probiotics are, I mean, they're a great option, right? They can really help people. So yeah, definitely be careful with the enema. Make sure you're doing it properly. Like enemas can be dangerous if you don't do them well. So yeah, do your research on that. Once your system is reset, will there still be certain foods that will trigger you, or is it healed? When you fix your biome, oh, hold on. Might be somebody calling me. That's fine. I think it's on my other computer. Yeah, I know I'm a techie person, but when you fix your gut and your microbiome is more sound and established, you'll react to a lot less foods. That said, we all have an individual biology, and plenty of healthy people feel better eating a certain way than another way. And no person on earth is going to be able to reculture just based on their vibrational frequency and their current biome and the state of their body and their DNA, every bacteria on earth. So considering different bacteria digest different foods, you might find that you'll still prefer a certain type of diet. Like I know for me, even though I can eat all kinds of things I used to not be able to eat, like Pizza I just had last night, literally regular pizza from a restaurant, so good. But anyway, and then like, bread and gluten was a really big issue for me. And sugar used to give me like an instant migraine and make me dizzy. And now I can eat almond croissants at the pastry shop. And, I'm not saying I do this every day or that I'm recommending it, but you'll be able to get away with more stuff when your biome is better. But that said, I still feel way better when I eat at home than when I eat a commercial pizza. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say, you'll be able to just eat shit for the rest of your life and yeah, you'll thrive. Like, you're still going to have to take care of your health, but a lot of your allergies or intolerances are likely to fade and you'll be able to eat more diverse stuff. Like, I can now eat with abundance things that used to give me like acne and like heap loads of cheese and stuff like that. Like I used to eat too many fruits and I used to break out like crazy. And now I literally like gorge on Mexican mangoes and like nothing. So it will really depend on your body, but yeah, you'll have to kind of still probably like tailor the diet. Some people love a Mediterranean diet. Some people love to eat high carb diets. Some people thrive more on high fat, lower carb diets. It just depends on your body, but you'll probably be able to choose whatever you really want to do. And then once you're in the reculture phase, you introduce the foods you want to eat long term, and the bacteria from your reculturing are going to thrive, the ones that eat that kind of food. That will be what cultures your gut. So that's why you get to kind of like have the fun of choosing the diet you want to eat and eating as much diversity as possible to get your gut working more optimally. And of course, it's having a positive mindset about food will make a difference too. Best remedy for fibroids. I just did a very detailed video about this. So fibroids are basically growths. Depending on where your fibroids are, I would say rubbing essential oils topically is going to be amazing, even if it's deeper tissue or organ, raising the vibrational frequency of your body. So taking some kind of food grade essential oil, like be it tea tree or thyme or oregano or something, like once or twice a day, even like grapefruit or sweet orange or lemon, as long as they're edible, in a little bit of water can help a lot with raising the frequency and fixing your microbiome. Fibroids are a growth. They're either damaged DNA or infections that are encapsulated. So fixing the biome and detoxing through things like sunshine, grounding, sleeping well, spending more time in nature, autophagy, those things are going to help a lot, like with fasting and all that kind of stuff. Keto diets can help a lot with fibroids too. If you haven't tried that route, it could be pretty effective. Where am I going? Do I eat all foods, meats, cheeses, and do I trust the food these days? So the food is not that trustworthy these days. That is for dang sure. But I source the best I can. I try not to overthink it. My current diet is the everything diet. I even eat like, more refined foods and things here and there. But generally speaking, I eat probably the healthiest of most people I know. I have a green shake every morning where I put moringa and spirulina and chlorella and B complex and enzymes in there and probiotics. And I feel like there's more. I think I put like a Pikmins, which is from a company Thorne. It has like all your trace minerals. And I put some like, what's it called? Humic acid in there. I change it all the time. It's not always the same thing. Sometimes it's green spectrum and this and that. But I basically make like coconut water with this little mix of all the nutrients I kind of want to consume in a day. Like I stick all my supplements in there, zinc, whatever I'm doing in that moment. I shake that up and I consider that my, my default. Every day I'm going to make sure that I have that for nutrition status, to feel good, for minerals in the body. And then my meals, I try to center them around healthy food. Like, I mean, the days are different, but yeah, sometimes it's eggs for breakfast, sometimes it's oatmeal, sometimes it's pancakes, but of course with really clean ingredients. Sometimes I'm just having a green smoothie. Sometimes I'm having today I had what did I have? I had a yogurt bowl with flax and some homemade granola and, raw honey and bee pollen. It really depends. So I'm not on a specific diet. When I was doing the detox course during phase 2, the mucoid plaque detox, I was doing a carnivore diet because there's 2 options for doing that one. It has to be no fiber or low fiber. So I chose the carnivore one because there was like no way I was going to be able to do like juicing and only avocado and stuff like that. So just to have enough calories and all that stuff from my personal body, I chose to do that. But sustainable long-term, it's like more hard. So yeah, I eat a bit of everything. When I eat food, it's the healthier version of it. Like I eat raw cheese for the most part if I'm going to eat cheese. I eat like grass-fed meats for the most part if I'm going to eat meat. I eat pastured eggs if I'm going to eat that. And yeah, I eat like a lot of greens. I had a lot of carrot juice. I kind of play around with it and I just focus on high nutrient density foods for the most part. But of course, guys, I'm like very indulgent. I'm not the best person to ask for food because it's like my own personal bigger struggle. I love sweets. I love chocolate. Like I have dessert every single day. I'm not the most disciplined with food. So I just like make sure I get my nutrients and just hope for the best. That's just my personality and how I am. I'm never going to be that person who's like eating like perfectly all the time. I never was in my healing journey. I'm just like that little kid at heart who just wants to like eat delicious things all the time. And I just allow myself to be that and do the best I can with culturing and supporting my gut and trying to keep stress low and making sure I get sun. And I do other things to make up for it. But it's most important to have harmony with food. I can eat anything if I'm in love with the food, you know? So menopause, do I recommend anything to balance hormones? Yeah, you can do wild yam cream. I'm trying to remember the name of the company. Oh, I forgot. You can look up Barbara O'Neill. She's awesome and she recommends a wild yam cream. It starts with an E. But anyway, you can try something like that. Could be really helpful. And then, of course, just like things to boost estrogen levels, like bee pollen is amazing. You can also do like flaxseed oil and flax seeds, like these phytoestrogens. I wouldn't really go for soy, but those things can actually help a lot. I have detailed videos where I talk about menopause as well. All right, I think I'm going to do like 3 more questions. I'm going to come back live again, probably in the next. I'm going on a trip soon, so maybe when I get back from my trip. But yeah, I gotta run soon. He's gonna kill me. What can somebody do for migraine headaches that last 2 to 4 days? I eat low sodium food and keep hydrated. Ooh, don't do low sodium. Do the opposite. Low sodium is the worst thing you can do for a migraine. Okay, so depending on the cause of your migraine, if you're extremely dehydrated and you're eating table salt, yes, low sodium is better. But migraines are caused by I'm going to say three things mainly. There's many other factors, high stress, like gut dysbiosis, too much mucus in the gut, but dehydration at an electrolyte level. So migraineurs, and I'm one also, I'm a person who's more prone to migraines. I had for 20 years migraines, the really debilitating ones, like really I was like ill for sometimes a week. Sometimes I think I had a migraine once for 6 weeks straight. So migraines are caused by gut dysbiosis and something toxic happening in the small intestine. So the course and doing part 2 and then reculturing is going to help so much. But one of the things that helped me the most was getting my electrolytes in order. I need way more electrolytes and way more salt than someone else. My brain works at 50 times the speed. I eat through nutrients. I'm not saying I'm smarter, but I'm fast. You guys hear me. I talk fast. I think fast. I do fast. Even when I'm relaxed, I'm a fast person. So the brain the brain is much more active and intense and uses way more electrolytes. It basically runs out of gas, which is what a migraine is. Another factor is like fungal overgrowth and too much sugar in the diet, which basically displaces sodium in the diet as well. And the third factor is sulfur intolerance. This is what a lot of people miss. Some people, they'll cure their migraine by going like carnivore if they have like a yeast issue. And some people, their migraines will go insane when they eat eggs or cruciferous vegetables or too much meat or wine, anything with sulfites, dried fruit. So migraines are nitrites. If you have a problem with like aged meats and things, like your issue is sulfur, you have a sulfur problem. So molybdenum, taking like 500 milligrams of molybdenum at least once or twice a day will help. Some people are finding benefit with bismuth, medical grade bismuth. It's a heavy metal. I don't love it. I tried it for my migraines. It only helped while I was taking it, and then I had horrible rebound headaches. For me, cleaning out mucus in the gut. When you get too much mucus in the gut and your gut is not moving effectively, you're going to get more migraines. So I would focus on higher fiber, taking psyllium fiber supplement, getting things moving, taking apple cider vinegar with your meals and more lemon and lime with your meals and enzymes with your meals to try to break up some of that mucus. And don't eat too many mucus forming foods. Cut down on cheese and too much heavy meats and things like that. And instead focusing on more like leafy vegetables and things that if they move through you, if they irritate your gut, then focus on green juices and all that. But if you like, imagine you need way more electrolytes than another person. So more salt, more potassium. You can actually look up snake juice, like the protocol, like the snake juice recipe, which is basically potassium, sodium, magnesium, and baking soda. That will help. And you can have apple cider vinegar too, drinking more of that. And you might have to cut your carbs down a little if you up the salt or you're going to get a bit bloated at first, but that will help. Grounding, sleeping enough, calming down. Also, if you're a person that craves a lot of sugar before migraines, when that hits, start taking some cayenne pepper. Things like apple cider vinegar can help. But ultimately, if you clean out the gut and you reculture your gut, your migraines will go away because it's a problem of dysbiosis mostly. What can help IBS? My course, the free course that I'm giving, is going to help IBS. Stage 3 is essential, but if you do stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, you can pretty much count your IBS gone. You'll want to do some emotional and metaphysical work as well, because IBS is caused by holding in things, not digesting emotions properly, not expressing properly, tolerating things, being a people pleaser, being an overachiever, not giving yourself time to rest and relax, being a nervous type, not finding healthy practices for relaxing the nervous system. Things that can help with IBS a lot are going to be ginger tea in terms of like food stuff, and peppermint can help a lot as well. But somatic exercises, if you look up SOMATIC, somatic exercises, there's a girl on Instagram called, I think, The Workout Witch. She has really great ones. Like, they're just like simple movements, like swinging your arms, swinging your legs to release emotions and find a healthy outlet for emotions. If you have IBS, but you also have an unhealthy relationship to food, there's a book called Women, Food, and God, which is, it's not a religious book, but basically it's about healing your relationship to food and healing IBS through that. So that can help a lot. Like, with the book is more about, like, I think, overweightness and binge eating or whatever, but it has a lot to do with mental healing of your relationship to food. That can help a lot with IBS too, especially if you've had it for a long time and you have a lot of food fear. It teaches you how to reconnect to your nervous system properly. Water births, yay or nay, are okay to give birth using tap water? That's a really great question. My sister gave birth using, I think, reverse osmosis, but it was like such a pain in the butt. We had to keep filling the tub and everything. I would say tap water is probably not ideal unless you get like a filter. I would just get like at least a minimalist filter put on your tap water to make sure that heavy metals, parasites, bacteria, and chlorine and stuff are not in it, like fluoride. And then if the water is like pretty good quality, then you can totally use tap water. Otherwise, you could use distilled water, filtered water, or something like that. But yeah, water births are awesome. My sister, it made a difference for her to be in the bath. All right, where am I? I scroll down. I'm going to do 2 more questions, guys. I'm sorry, I cannot answer everything. I love keto, but I get a lot of constipation with keto. Yeah, that's common. You're probably not having enough roughage, and probably your microbiome is not optimized. So adding things like yogurt, kefir, more salt, higher fat, taking like a couple tablespoons of coconut oil. If you have dysbiosis, it is going to give you the SHITS. You are going to hate me for suggesting it, but if you ever wanted to clean your gut of everything that ever lived, and you have a bad gut, 2 or 3 tablespoons of coconut oil on an empty stomach, I'm warning you, you will get spasms, but it will clean everything out. But if you eat, let's say, your breakfast, you take coconut oil after, that can help. Constipation and gut issues, IBS also, this is good for the last point, is slippery elm. Taking like a teaspoon or even up to a tablespoon of slippery elm bark powder, organic, in some water. You can even add a tablespoon of psyllium. Well, if you're constipated, just maybe do it without the psyllium. But yeah, and just like upping the magnesium as well, putting that shake in some water, and just basically that will help to move things along for you. Drinking more, having more fresh juices. Even if you're keto, you might still be able to do some like celery juice, some cucumber juice. It's not like 20 grams of carbs or less, but it's like 50 grams of carbs or less. If you do like a cup or 2 of those, that will help get things moving. More herbal teas, upping the fluid will help. Moving more, exercise, deep breathing, those things will help too. I love the stream so far. Oh, thank you. I've been recently battling with GERD, and alkaline diet has helped a lot so far. Do you have any other suggestions? Yeah, so some people find relief with taking baking soda morning and night and an alkaline diet that will basically tone down the overall acidity in the whole body. And when you take baking soda, it does the same thing as if you take like Tums, which is it puts out all your stomach fire, making your stomach have to hardcore create more. But GERD oftentimes is caused by H. pylori and stuff as well. So things like peppermint oil. A good way to help GERD is also cabbage juice, having like maybe 4 ounces of straight green cabbage juice in the morning. Asparagus juice is also really good too. And reculturing your gut. I think starting with kefir when you have GERD is going to irritate a little bit because it's very mucousy. It's good in general, but you might want to start with like beet kvass or sauerkraut or something like that to reculture your gut, or even like a coconut yogurt can be a little bit more gentle on your gut. But yeah, some people find if their GERD is really intense and long-standing caused by low stomach acid, things like apple cider vinegar can actually help. Like, it'll irritate the tissue at first, but it can actually help us to digest much more quickly. Taking enzymes with your food can help too. And digestive bitters, actually, like neem tea, 1 or 2 leaves of neem in some tea with some ginger and sipping that before your meal or through your meal can really get digestion flowing, bile flowing, stomach acid production going, and it can help a lot. So yeah, guys, I think I'm going to stop it here for now because I've been on for a while and I really do have to go for my walk. But I love you guys so much. Save these questions. I'm going to do a live again soon. I think next time I do a live, I might a day in advance or in the morning if I do it at night or something. Out, people are able to like ask questions right away because I think there was a period of time before people joined. But I wanted to thank everybody so much for joining this call. I really hope I was able to help some of you guys with these questions. I'm sending so much love. Please check out the free course. I'm going to link it back down here for you guys. Give me 1 sec. Actually, yeah, let me see. Let's check it out in the description. It's literally free. I made it because I want you to be healthy. Every part of the course, I recommend watching the whole thing because it's super powerful. It's very short, guys. It's 4 parts. It's not like this long incessant thing. A lot of the videos are like 8 minutes. I tried to keep it really time friendly for people. It's not going to be like a huge tangent. I give you really straightforward what you need to do and how to do it. But share it with people you know. You guys know that I've been censored. It's really hard. I'm in a private platform now. Getting this information out to people is more difficult. So I made this course for free, like as a gift. It's kind of like my legacy and my life purpose. I'm doing it because I really want you to be healthy. I'm doing it because I want every single person out there who's feeling hopeless to have steps to take. And even if you're not able to do like every single part right now, just do like some of it, incorporate the parts you can. Even if you just like start with step 3, reculturing your gut, that is a game changer. A lot of people heal just from that. Even if you incorporate a couple of things from stage 4, or you do a little bit of stage 1, or, you know, you decide later you're going to do stage 2 or whatever it is, you know, but like check that information out. It is amazing. Like really there's no harm in it. Like it will change your life to learn these things and to have it in your arsenal. Keep that information, share it with everybody you know. If anybody has any health conditions, send them that course, have them watch those videos. It will inspire them. It will tell them what to do. It will help them understand how the body works. And it's literally like anytime you get a health issue or you fall off the wagon or something happens, you can just go back and start it again and do it again and reincorporate these things. Like, I mean, I know people who did just stage 3 and in like 2-3 months, like 4 autoimmune diseases vanish. Like crazy things, you guys. Like some people in 2 weeks, they feel different. Some people, like their arthritis is gone in a short time. It's like really powerful stuff. And for people that are dealing with like the like side effects and things like that, like this is going to help get synthetics out of the body. It will help your body detox. And a lot of these practices are things you can do long term. It's also anti-aging and biohacking. I don't know why I'm upselling a free course, my God, but like really, I'm telling you guys, I'm super passionate about it. A lot of work went into it. So please help me share it. The way to help support the work that I'm doing is to share it with people. I want this to make a difference for people, not just to be some other free thing sitting on my website with no one in it. So I love you guys. Enjoy the information. I'm sending like so much good vibes to every single person. I will see you guys in my next live stream, and I'm wishing you all a great night.